Hello children. In English class today we will start a grammar topic, that is the subject verb concord, that is also called subject verb agreement. Children, I want you to see the video thoroughly so that you can understand all the rules to know what actually is the subject verb agreement. You already know what subject and verb are in a sentence. Children, I think all of you know very well because in your classes like 7th, 8th, you have studied a lot of grammar and you all know what is a subject in a sentence and what is a verb in a sentence. Subject is a noun or pronoun. Basically, subject is the doer of the action. That tells us what the sentence talks about. So this noun or pronoun, that is the subject, tells us what the sentence talks about. This is our subject. Verb represents the action in the sentence. Alright? So the first important thing is to know what actually is the subject verb agreement. It means that the subject and verb in a sentence should agree or match. Otherwise, the sentence will not sound right. If there is not the correct combination of the subject and the verb in a sentence, the sentence grammatically cannot be correct. Subject verb agreement simply means the subject and verb must agree in number. Children, I hope you know about the number of the subject. So, according to the number of the subject in a sentence, the verb should be used. This means both need to be singular, either singular or both need to be plural. I hope children you are getting it. According to the number of the subject, if the number of the subject is singular, the verb should also be singular. If the number of the subject is plural, the number of the verb should also be plural. Subject verb agreement is essential to ensure that a sentence is grammatically correct. So to learn more, let's try to understand all the rules to see how there should be an arrangement, there should be an agreement, a concord between the subject and the verb. So we'll start with a few rules to understand what actually it is. Rule number 1. The verb and subject must agree in number. As I've already told you children, this is about the match of the number of both of them, of the subject and the verb. This means that if the subject is singular, the verb should be singular. And if the subject is plural, the verb should also be plural. Examples. He plays football. Children, you can see very well that he is a singular subject. So with the singular subject, we have used plays. That means the root form of the verb with the addition of s. In some words, it can be es. Again, in the second sentence, you can see that the subject of this sentence is plural. So with the plural subject, the verb play is used. Only play has been used without any addition of s or es in the root form of the verb. I hope children this first rule is clear. Alright, let's move on to the second rule now. The number of the subject, singular or plural, will not change due to words, phrases in between the subject and the verb. That means suppose there are a few words, a kind of phrase. Phrase, I hope you know children, phrase is a group of words. So suppose between the subject and the verb there is a group of words. We will not go according to that group of words, but we will only match the subject and the verb. Let's see the examples. One of the glasses is empty. So, one of the glasses, we are talking about only one glass, one of the glasses. Now, the phrase that has come between is and one is of the glasses. Of the glasses is a group of words that has come in between. Here, since the subject is one, the verb should be is. So, is should be used according to one, because one is singular, so is used. I hope children this is clear. Let's see one more example. The bouquet of red roses smells so sweet. Here you can see the subject, the bouquet, not the roses. Roses is not our subject, but our subject is bouquet. Here, since bouquet is the subject and not roses, the verb should be smells, not smell. Okay, let's see the third rule. Subject that are joined by and in a sentence use a plural verb, because when we join two words with the help of and, they remain only plural. Let's see how. Subjects that are joined even by either or, neither or nor, they use a singular verb. So there is a difference, children. Try to understand this. Whenever we use and to add two things together, it carries a plural verb. And whenever two subjects are joined by the use of either or and neither nor, it uses only a singular verb. Alright, let's see the examples now. Radha and Meera are coming home. Radha and Meera, you can see there are two subjects, Radha and Meera, and they are connected by the word and. So, are is the plural verb that is used in the sentence according to the subject. Second example, neither Akshay nor Rohit is coming home. Neither Akshay and Rohit both are connected with the help of neither nor. But is used because we will take the singular subject here. My dad or my mom is arriving today. Again we can see that my dad and my mom are two subjects and they are joined with the help of or. So we have taken only the singular subject, that is. I hope children this is clear. Okay, let's see the next rule. The verb in a sentence containing or, either or, neither nor agrees with the noun or pronoun closest to it. This is a very important rule to remember, children. Whenever there is the use of either or, neither nor, you will focus only on the subject that is closest. That is closest to either or neither nor. Let's see how we look at this. See, neither the shoes nor the bag. What? Here bag is closest to the verb. Bag matches the dress. See, two subjects are there. Neither one is the shoes and the other one is the bag. But we have to focus on the subject which is closest to our verb. What is the verb in this sentence? Matches is the verb in the sentence and the subject that is closest to this verb is bag. So we'll focus on bag and bag is singular. So according to this singular subject, we will use the singular verb that is matches root verb of the verb, root form of the verb with the addition of s. S or es. It is es here. Next, neither the bag nor the shoes match the dress. See, it is just opposite to the first sentence. We can see neither the bag has come first, and shoes, that is a plural subject, has come just before the verb. So there is a change of the verb in the second sentence. Since the subject is plural, so accordingly the verb is also plural. Match without any addition of s or es. I hope children this is clear. Let's see the next rule now. When the subject is followed by words such as well as, along with, besides, not, etc., ignore them and use a singular verb if the subject is singular. That means whenever you look at the subject and with the subject, these kinds of words are used, you will completely ignore these words and you will focus only on your subject. How? Matt as well as his dog is expected shortly. Who is the subject here? Matt is our subject here, but also there is the use of as well as his dog. So we'll not count dog here. We'll focus only on the first subject, that is Matt. And accordingly is used according to the singular subject. Pratik along with his brother is going to school. Again, one more example. Pratik is the subject and one more word along with is used, as well as one more subject is introduced in the same sentence. But as I have already told you, to focus only on the first subject, that is Pratik, and according to Pratik is used in the sentence. Alright children. Rule 6. In sentences that begin with here, there, the true subject usually follows the verb. How? Here are the chocolates. So, chocolates is a subject that has come after the verb, not before the verb, but after the verb. Alright? So, when we look at the verb, we'll look at the subject, accordingly we'll use our verb. There is a big puddle on the road. Here a big puddle is our subject and is a verb that has already been used before the subject. So we'll focus at the subject and then we'll put our verb. I hope children this also is clear. Let's move on to the next rule. In sentences that include sums of money, periods of time or distances, etc. as a unit. Children, when we use all these things as a unit, we always use singular verbs. How? 500 rupees is a high price to pay. Here 500 rupees is a unit, is a sum of money. Alright, so we'll take it to be singular subject. And accordingly we'll use a verb that is. Alright. Next, 62 years is the minimum age of retirement. 62 years is, we are not talking about the years, we are talking about only the age. 62 years is the age of retirement. Accordingly we have used is. 10 kilometers is too far to walk. Here 10 kilometers is showing the distance. Alright, it is a unit. 10 kilometers is accordingly is used as a singular verb with a singular subject. Next rule. In the case of words such as a lot of, all, some, etc. in a sentence, pay attention to the noun after of. So we have to focus on the subject in every sentence because we have to use the verb accordingly. Remember this always. So here, when with the use of these words, a lot of, all, that means these all are the indefinite pronouns. With such kind of indefinite pronouns, we will focus on the noun that comes after the word of. If the noun after of is singular, then use a singular verb. If it is plural, then we'll use the plural verb. How? All of the cake is gone. So, after of, what is a noun? Cake. It shows it is singular. So, accordingly, we have used the verb that is also singular. In the next example, all of the cakes. Here, after the word of, cakes is plural. So, when we get to know that our subject is plural, accordingly we have used the verb are, that is also plural. A lot of the cake is gone. Again, you can see one more example to see. After of, again we can see the cake is singular. So, the verb used here is also singular. I hope children this is also clear. Let's move on to the next rule, that is rule number. So one more example is there. A lot of the cakes are gone. Again, these are similar kinds of sentences, but there is a slight difference. Try to understand. After of, again we can see that the subject is plural, and accordingly we have used the verb plural, are. Some of the cake is gone. One more example. Some of the cake. Again, cake is singular, is used accordingly. In the next sentence, cakes after of is used, so accordingly we have used the plural verb. Alright? Okay. In the case of collective nouns such as group, population, family in a sentence, the verb can be singular or plural depending on their use in a sentence. When such kind of words are used, collective nouns, I hope children, all of you know what are the collective nouns. So whenever we use the collective nouns, it depends upon the sentence how we use our verbs. Most of my family is here or are here. In that case, both verbs are correct. Either you use most of my family is here, this is also correct because we are talking about the family members, or if you want to use most of my family are here, this is also correct. One more example, half of the population was against the bill or were against the bill. Okay, so either the singular subject or the plural subject. Okay children, let's see the next rule. Nouns such as mathematics, civics, news, etc. while plural in form, they seem to be plural when we read these words because they end with S. So they seem to be plural, but actually they are singular subjects. Are singular in meaning, and a singular verb will be used with them. How? Mathematics is very difficult for some people. Since it is a singular subject, it is used as a singular verb. Next example, the news is very saddening. The news seems to be plural, but it is a singular subject, so is used. Next example, next rule. In sentences that express a wish, request, or contrary to fact, the word were is used instead of was. This is a very important rule to learn, children. Please focus on it. Whenever you make a wish, you make a request, or you express a thing that is just contrary to the fact, when you make a request or wish, just contrary to all other rules, we have to use the plural verb in place of the singular verb. How? I wish my sister were here. My sister is singular, although my sister is a singular subject, but because it is a wish, so the verb should be plural here. Aditya requested that she raise her hand. Here, Aditya requested that she raise. She is what? She is a singular subject. Still, we have used a plural verb, raise. Otherwise, according to other rules, we should have used raises. But here, because it is a request, we have used only raise as a plural verb. I hope children, all the rules are clear about the subject and verb agreement, because this is very important when you write the sentences. You are generally, in case of the subject verb agreement, generally children write wrong things. So if you keep all these rules in your mind very well, definitely you will write grammatically correct sentences according to the subject verb agreement. So please watch the video thoroughly and try to understand as well as learn all these rules. Alright? Okay. Thank you.